What's up, DWA fam? This is Asia, here to remind you that if you like this episode, go ahead and hit subscribe on Apple Podcasts or leave us a rating and a review. We really appreciate it. It goes such a long way, and we love to hear what you guys are saying. Hope y'all enjoy this week's episode. Hey, y'all, and if you're new here, welcome to the family. My name is Asia.
My name is Jared, and thank you for listening to
Done with Adulting Podcast. We are really glad you're here because we're talking all things we have to do as adults that no one warned us about during the many years we were in school.
Yes, we also discuss pop culture, current events, and give our perspective on hot topic issues in our society. And even though we're best friends, we don't always agree.
Basically, we're millennials. We get it. Adulting is hard. Welcome to your safe space.
We hope you enjoy.
Yo, we are back with another week of Done with Adulting. We appreciate you all for checking us out and still being here with us. Today, we have a very fun and dope episode coming your way. We're actually going to have Asia's husband, Terrence, on just to talk about this whole pregnancy ordeal that they're going through and how it is from the male's perspective. I just had a baby myself, so I know a lot of things that my man Terrence is going through right now. So we're here to talk about it. So let's get into it. My guy, what's good with you?
What's going on, man? Good to be back. What's going on, everybody?
I was about to say, yeah, I was going to say introduce yourself to the listeners, but we might have some new listeners, so I might have you do it again. But you were a fan favorite last time you were on. They all love you. We had a good amount of new listeners that episode too. So
good.
For the new folks here, introduce yourself, let them know a little about you, who you are, and we'll get into it.
Yeah, definitely. What's going on, everybody? My name is Terrence. Like Jared said, I'm Asia's husband. Also her baby daddy. So
soon to be.
Soon to be. Can't wait for April to get here. And I'm just your regular guy, born and raised in Manassas, Virginia, live in Massachusetts now. Went to Mary Washington out in Fredericksburg, Virginia for college, and just working your average 9 to 5 like everybody else today. So
I know,
man,
and COVID times too, right? Like
right,
crazy right now. But actually, you were always remote, even previously when you were even in Virginia.
Still, right? It was crazy. So literally the year before COVID and all the lockdown happened, I had just switched to working remotely full time, which was great. So I was like, oh, awesome. I can work, do my 9 to 5 from home, and then everyone else worked from home. So I was like, oh, this is just this is back to normal almost. I'm seeing everyone. I was used to having the house to myself, but it was great. It was cool, and everyone was safe. So that was what was most important.
Not dope. Actually, I think I'm gonna try to touch on Virginia a little bit further down the road in our conversation, but like I said earlier, Asia's not going to be here. It's just going to be from the male perspective. Pregnancy is a new thing, especially for first-time parents. Like it's going to be your first child.
Mm-hmm.
It's a new experience. It's a scaring, daunting experience. So, how's the journey been so far?
Yeah, so far,
how far along is she? Just to say for the new people too.
Man, so let's see. Right now, we're due in like 4 months. So I don't even know what the time is on that, but yeah, we're very close. And the experience has been good. I mean, obviously Asia's doing all the work, but I've been definitely trying to, make sure I'm as semi-educated as I can. Like I'm just making sure I'm going to the doctor visits and, just it's curious to see what they're talking about and, trying to be helpful with her. I understand all the uncomfortableness that comes with, having this baby growing inside you and all that stuff. So other than that, it's just been good. And just, trying to prepare for, get the house ready, baby proofing and all that stuff, getting all the baby room stuff, ideas, all these plans and things.
Yeah,
So
it's absolutely crazy how many like new things there are and like how much you actually just learn from about to be bringing in a new baby, and then once the baby is here, just adjusting to that. I know you mentioned actually going to doctor's appointments. So your hospital, they're allowing you to have visits even with COVID going on, and I guess now the numbers are the highest they've ever been this whole pandemic. So have they talked about any type of like visitor changes or hospital guidelines or rules that have changed so
yeah,
far that you know
yeah.
of?
So not no changes upcoming that I'm aware of, but it is kind of limited visitations as it is now. So, we of course go into the hospital together, but she's the one that she checks in by herself. So essentially, I'm standing over near the elevators. That's where like kind of all the husbands are on
Mm-hmm.
that level. So, anyway, wife goes in,
Oh
checks
yeah, because
in
you're going to
whenever.
Newton Wellesley, right?
Correct. Yep.
Oh yeah, so
Yep.
actually we went to the same one, so I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
hallway. So
yeah, you gotta stay in the hallway, and
yeah,
yeah,
so
they're
yep. So
going.
the protocol is, yep, the husbands are out in the hallways. Once the doctor's ready, the wife can come out and get you. The wife's sitting in the waiting rooms. All the wives are in the waiting room, all the
Mhm.
pregnant ladies. And then so yeah, then you go in, you get to chat in with the doctor. But once you leave the doctor's room, whether it's, she's got to keep taking blood or do some more tests and stuff, you're back in the hallway. So
Facts, yeah.
yeah, it's just been chilling. So that's cool too. So yeah, it's just been good.
So actually, like, so my baby, she's about 5. She's going on 5 months now. So obviously, I mean, our whole pregnancy was a little longer ago. When she first got pregnant, I actually wasn't even able to go into any of her appointments really.
Mm,
Basically, the last the last month of the pregnancy that's when they had kind of laxed everything, and they actually changed their visiting policy. So I was so far removed from a lot of things because I never got to go in and actually see the ultrasound or any of that type of things. We actually had to go to like an outside source to for me to actually finally see an ultrasound. But you were actually able to see that. Um, so with me not being able to see that, I still felt kind of removed from this
mm.
whole pregnancy. I know a little earlier you said like she's doing all the work. Do you feel kind of removed from the pregnancy since you're not actually carrying the baby? I know you have a you actually have a little bit more interaction because you're able to see the ultrasounds and go into the appointments at the moment. But I don't know if that was like the same feeling for you that you felt kind of removed. And since, like you said, she's basically doing the work.
Yeah, yeah. No, there's definitely times when, I do feel bad or it just kind of, yeah, it just kind of stinks because there's nothing I can do to really help, what I'm saying, besides, try to make sure she's happy, whether that's get some food, some drink, what I'm saying, leave her alone or, put something on, hang out. But, besides that, and all the aches and the pains. There's nothing really I can do with that, speed it up. I can't really do that, So at times like that, it really does stink. But, other times like, when when the little things do help, like, you hear things from her or, just get little things like getting the baby's room together and
I
like
was about to
looking
say,
forward
yeah,
to like stuff like that. It's like,
like building the furniture, things like that. That puts you a little
yeah,
bit more into it than
yeah, so that's like really helpful to just kind of be like, all right, cool. I can't do this here, but at least I can help out over here on this
in
side.
other
So
areas. Yeah,
yeah, so on the tough days when I'm like frustrated or annoyed that she's frustrated and annoyed and I'm not being helpful, I try to just think about that. Other things I can try to push me along to just get through this and be helpful in general.
for
So
sure. Yeah, I
yeah.
mean, like the whole process. I was like, people were like, "Oh, like how are you feeling? How is it hitting you?" And I'm like, honestly, it really hasn't hit me yet. Like, obviously, I could see her going through changes in her body, like just from like obviously physically, but also like mentally, like hormones changing. Um, but I was like, it still hasn't hit me yet. I was like, I feel like it's not going to actually hit me until the baby actually comes and
Hmm,
actually like
hmm.
see the baby with my own two eyes. And
Wow.
I feel like,
Yeah.
but once that actually comes, it's like it's a complete change and
Yeah.
it's wild. So, um, but how has she been with like I guess hormones and mood swings, and how have you been trying to deal with that? Because I feel like when I was in the process, I was trying to make it be as sensitive as possible to Emily. But
Hmm.
I feel like sometimes some people don't even like that. You know what I mean? Like they see you trying to make that effort and change, and that might tick them off a little bit more. But Like women to me, they're superheroes. Like they go through this, they carry these babies in their bodies, um, and they're going through all these like physical and just hormonal changes. And to me, it's just like it's a blessing to see. So, yeah, how are you handling any of her kind of like mood swings or any type of hormone changes, or is she even having any?
Yeah, yeah,
Like let's
no,
not say like all of them are the same. You know what I
there's
mean?
definitely good days and bad days. I
Wait,
mean,
this is definitely going to be a point where she's going to be rolling her eyes.
yeah,
That's like this whole episode, she's going to be eye rolling.
definitely. So, there are good days, like I said, when, baby's not bothering her as much, no, not as many aches and pains, got a good night of sleep. You know what I'm saying? She's hungry, energy. Those are great. But then, yeah, of course, there are those bad days where, one thing I say may make her angry and she needs to go take a break, or,
You'd
the
be like, what was
baby's
it? Like, what did I even say or
annoying or
do?
something, right? So it's just like, those days I just like, all right, like I guess she needs space, or I guess I'll just, like I said, help out over here, just go do me or something. So, but and yeah, it's just like the process, this whole process, right? Like at the beginning of the pregnancy, there's none of that, it was just like kind of just everything was regular, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
now as we're getting closer to the finish line, and just like you said, like the baby's obviously getting closer to being here. So I'm just like, all right, like I also need to be more, cognizant of like this is getting harder for her too.
for
And then
sure.
it's
Yeah.
gonna get even harder when it gets here. Like thinking about all this post, just being a father and all the financial stuff, all the
Oh,
just making
Jesus.
sure getting all these new routines. I'm a big
Yeah,
routine guy. So yeah, so just thinking about that, and it's tough, but it's cool. You just gotta stay grounded, right? Like I've just been trying to stay grounded. That's it.
for sure. And it's dope that like you're actually able to be aware of the changes, because I feel like there's definitely men out there who just go through the whole pregnancy and they're just oblivious to what their partner's actually going through, and they probably make it 10 times worse. And also you got to think about the women who sometimes don't even have the baby's father there. You know what I mean? So like me having a baby now, I'm just like, I can't imagine me having a baby with somebody and then not being there with them for like at least the first few months, like them waking up in the middle of the night every single hour, every 2 hours, just like to wake up the baby. Like where would the help? Where would their help come from if
Mhm.
they actually didn't have another partner there? Those are some crazy thoughts that have been going through my mind recently. Like,
I
how is
feel
that
you,
even
man.
possible?
I feel you, man. Shout out to all those single parents, man. It's obviously not easy. You know what I'm saying, right? Like
I mean,
it's
even with two
not
people there and like a whole
right.
support system, it's still not easy. So, yeah, I mean, if you're doing that solo or by yourself, like Godspeed to you. Absolutely nuts. But I guess looking forward to the actual pregnancy, like what are some things that you're most looking forward to and some things that I guess scare you?
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. So I was definitely excited for, additional eating. We've definitely been trying to, you know, just eat a bunch more French fries. You know what I'm saying? Much
Well, I
more
say,
doing
what is
all
she
the stuff.
craving? Yeah, what
Yeah,
is
so
she
she
craving?
definitely still craves like some French fries, some cookies. I like the thin and crispy. I can't remember the brand right now, but she's like the regular milk chocolate joint. So I try
Chips
to get
Ahoy?
those. No, not the Chips Ahoy. What is okay, so in the cookie aisle at the grocery store, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, you got the Chips Ahoy, your Oreos, and then it's like not the Lorna Dunes, but it's like Hilliard Farms.
Mm,
Man, I forget. Anyway,
maybe that's like a Massachusetts thing. I don't know.
yeah, but French fries, cookies, and just when I go on my late night fast food runs, I always just make sure to slide her a little something too. And
For
but yeah,
sure.
it's just been funny.
Gives you an excuse, right? Even more of an
Exactly,
excuse to
even
eat
more of
what
an
you want.
excuse.
Yeah.
So that was definitely something to look forward to. And yeah, just uh, uh, the frustrating parts are just like, yeah, the rough days when the baby's moving a lot, and maybe we're not both not getting enough sleep that day or something, or I should say that night. Work's being crazy, especially with the end of the year and all
Because
that
I
stuff.
mean, obviously you both are working through this whole process until the baby comes, right?
Right.
Obviously. So
Definitely, man. And then, on top of, like I was mentioning earlier, with getting ready for the baby, we just moved in and just bought this house too. So just getting used to all that, and just
Yeah, the timing
Yeah.
for y'all were crazy because you got a brand new house, first time homeowners. So you already have that stress dealing with all the financials with that, trying to make sure the house is good to move into. And then now you add in the fact that a baby's coming. So trying to get everything like a house is a never ending project. So now you
Right.
have that project going with also bringing in a new baby into the world. So yeah, once I heard that, I was like, oh my God, there's so much going on with y'all. But
Yeah, man.
it's a blessing at the end of the day.
Straight up, big blessing. And yeah, I'm happy. And it's just fun. Like, yeah, I try to take a step back every once in a while and just be like, yo, like I'm doing and planning and like doing just way different things than I was doing the past 5 years of my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm
Facts.
not saying that I'm established or anything, but I'm definitely taking the steps to, I got more in my bag now than I did, like I
Mm-hmm.
said, coming out of college and when I was trying to get that first job and just trying to like get that savings account, you know what I'm saying? Start doing some investments and stuff like that. So now it's like real. So it's just good to see.
And I feel like this is the part that you look back, like in the future, you actually look back on, and these are the times you reminisce on once you're actually to the place that you want to be at. You think about all
Definitely.
the struggles and all the not even the struggles, but just the trials and tribulations trying to get to where you are. And these are the times where you actually look back and feel grateful for those moments because they helped you so much.
Right.
Um, but in regards to like looking forward and being scared of, what are some things you're looking forward to when the baby actually is here, and maybe some things that might frighten you? Um, like I said, once said child is actually present
Yeah. Yeah.
in
Great
your
question.
arms.
Yeah, wow. So, man, just I think just hanging out in general, like, yeah, hanging out on the couch, like definitely figuring out the different foods he or she likes to eat. Definitely a big sports guy, so I'll be playing a
Are
lot of, different sports in front of
they
the
going to be a
baby
Cowboys fan or a
too.
Patriots fan?
Definitely gonna be a Cowboys fan, at least off jump, but at a certain age, I'll let them decide. It'll be cool, but
Facts.
they'll definitely have some jerseys and some gear every year in their Christmas presents. So yeah, that's definitely some stuff I'm excited for. Just like the hanging out and getting to know them. And man, I guess the things I'm worried about is I guess I'm curious to see like how I'm gonna be like disciplining and stuff. Like we took like one or two little parenting quizzes and I really enjoyed the way like I was raised. And I should say that like I was not punished, but you do something wrong, there are consequences, right? So
Facts. Yeah.
I feel like I'm curious to figure out what I'll actually do, but my plan right now is I'm hoping I can be very clear about what's right and what's wrong, and then
Mm-hmm.
just kind of go from there. So we'll see. So I'm nervous about that. We'll see, but yeah, definitely excited. I'm traveling too. I'm excited to travel. That'll be fun with the baby.
With the baby. Oh,
Yeah.
like planes, or because I know, speaking of ages, I know like y'all go to Martha's Vineyard all the time. So that's probably going to be like the first stop, which isn't too bad of travel, but you doing like long car rides because your family's in Virginia, or even plane rides. So
Mm-hmm.
before you see yourself hopping on a plane early with them.
Yeah, so it's definitely gonna be plane rides, bro. Like I personally don't really do car rides over 2 hours anymore. Like I just don't. I just can't do it. My back hurts. I'm just if I can fly there in under 45 to an hour, I would love that. So anyway, yeah, definitely trips to Virginia. I think it'll be important for me to, my baby be hanging out where I live and where I grew up
Oh, of
at and
course.
stuff.
Yeah.
And of course, my parents are down there, so we'll be seeing all my family and stuff. And then just in general, when I was growing up, my parents always we went to different places, always to the beach trips and
Mm-hmm.
different family vacations, and it's just always good to just see different stuff. So I'm excited to do that as well. So yeah.
What so I know you spoke on like discipline and how you think you'll handle it. What do you kind of think your parenting style will be?
Yeah, I think I'll be.
Or kind of like what like I guess type of father you hope to be, or yeah, like what do you
Yes.
think I'll look like?
So it's funny. I think I would dial it down. So at the end of the day, like, or at least my big thing is like, and it's unavoidable, but like I just don't want to be embarrassed, if that makes sense. So that being said, like I'm gonna
Like
try
you
to
don't want your
whack
child to embarrass you.
right. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna try
Embarrass the
to
family name.
prepare, like before we go places, I'm gonna try to teach them this is how you need to act. Like this is what I
Nice.
expect from you. I'm just trying to set clear expectations off jump.
Yep.
And and just set those boundaries. Like, hey, like this is the line. If you cross this line, like this is what I'm gonna have to now, potentially raise my voice. You know what I'm saying? We may have to, step aside out to the next room or something and have a conversation. Something, whatever punishment at the end of the day that really, just gets the point across. That I just need to get a clear point. This is how you need to act. This is what I expect from you. This is So
and not go 0 to 100. Like you actually going to take steps to maybe get to that. You might get to that 100 point, but there's going to be steps in between, and the child's going to know that there's going to be steps in between. So you're not just going to jump from 0 to 100 unless it's warranted.
Yeah, that's my goal. So we'll see. But there may be those rough days, but I just have to snap. You know what I'm saying? But
exactly. You never know, right?
I don't know. You never know. I don't think I've ever really snapped like that. But
yeah, they might come out talking slick. You know what I mean?
Like, wow, that is so embarrassing. I might just have to snap.
But it's funny because you're like you said, there's things like you've never actually snapped before. But I feel like once you actually have that feeling like it's your child, you're gonna start doing things that you've never done before. I feel like usually because it's your baby. Like, so for example, one example for me is I never really liked holding babies. Never. Like we have friends that we've been around.
Same.
Brand newborns. I'm like, I'm not holding your baby. I don't want to hold your baby. I'm so scared to hold your baby. But now with mine, like that's all I want to do is just hold her and hug her.
That's what's up.
And it changed my outlook on actually holding babies. So now that we're with friends and things like that, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll hold your baby because now I actually know how to do it. I enjoy doing it. And that's something that totally changed once she came out. But in regards to like the same question for parenting style, how do you think Asia's parenting style will be? And do you think there are any points of either of yours that will kind of be conflicting?
Yeah, I think Asia's parenting style will be a little more lax than mine, but at the same point, like she definitely sets pretty clear expectations as well, which is nice. So like, whereas like I'm like kind of will literally watch you for an hour. Like she may be like, yo, this is what you need to do. And she'll, go to the kitchen and, getting something ready. And she may hear some things, she may give it like a 5-minute warning before she has to, crack down. But yeah, no, I think our style should mix pretty well because at the same point, we're just like, we just have certain expectations on how we even treat each other. So of course, and the way we talk to each other. So that's the expectations aren't going to be less for the kids either. So
for sure.
But we'll see. Also, there are some days when I may be gone and, laundry may get, a little lax or, tidying up, maybe
something might be
lax.
overlooked. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Or, stuff like that. So, but it'll all be fine. It'll be funny.
So I know you actually spoke about like you guys took a couple classes together. Are there any other things that you're doing together, like Zoom classes, going to those like new parent classes or reading books, kind of just like education piece on, I guess, bringing in a child into this world and how to actually parent?
Yeah. So I think we may do some pre-parenting class with one of Asia's friends from grad school who's actually a doula now.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, we may do something. One of her.
I think she's been on the pod here. So
yes, yeah. So I'm excited to potentially do that. I think near the end of this month. And yeah, just like I was saying earlier, it's just like all about information gathering, right? Like I don't know anything about babies. I've never had a baby, so
it's a learning process. Even when they're 30, I feel like
right,
never ending process.
So I'm curious to see, what her take is on the whole situation and just it's also just good to know what to expect too, like, right? So just like from listening to you, like what to expect in the hospital. Like I was under the impression that the doctors were going to be in there all the time. So like, I don't need things to be at 100% crazy for the doctors to come in. Like, so I'm like, I'm already in the hall, like, hello, like, where is everybody? So yeah, man, just trying to take it in so I can just be as prepared and not be freaking out and as much as possible once we get live.
I know, like, just speaking with Asia, I remember telling her when we were actually like right after birth, when we were in our room that we are going to be in for a few days, they came in and were telling us that they could take the baby out each night and put her in the nursery so we're able to get some sleep. And I know there's a lot of people out there who are totally against that because they have like the
Yeah, I'm definitely
postpartum.
against that.
Oh, you are? So yeah,
Yeah.
this is a good point because I was talking to Asia and she seemed like she wasn't forward. She was like indifferent about it. She was like, we'll see when we get there. But
Yeah.
I know people who are totally against taking the baby out because they don't want the baby to leave their sight. But I'm telling you, once you're in that moment and you haven't had sleep for 38 hours, it's gonna feel good to get a couple hours of sleep.
That's real.
So you're totally against that. You're still gonna have
so off the top, I really don't want anyone taking my baby anywhere where I'm not gonna be there.
Yo, I felt the same way going into it.
That's just how I feel right now. But I do understand your point about sleep, but at the same point, like it's funny, like past few weeks, I've been sleeping well, but I've just been waking up like 2, 3, 4 a.m. just like real quick. Nothing wrong, and I can go back to sleep. But anyway, I say that to say like, this baby's gonna be waking up during the night. Like this is just preparation for me.
Exactly.
I know this baby's just gonna be waking me up anyway. So I say that to say like, if the baby's crying, like I guess I just need to flip into dad mode real quick and just figure it out. So that being said, I don't need the nurse to take the baby somewhere else. But maybe if someone tells me some additional benefits, sleep, being one, that might work if it's out of control. But
yeah, I mean the next 3 or 4 months we're gonna talk about this, and I'm definitely interested to see what happens after April. We're gonna have to have you back on to see if y'all stuck true to that or not. Because I'm telling you, there were times I was like, yeah, there's nobody taking my baby. Even my mom, like I talked to her before the birth, and she was like, yeah, they'll probably ask if they could take the baby out. I'll be like, no, make sure you're always with them. I was like, yeah, definitely. And then she gives birth, we're in that room, and my eyes are dying to stay open. Her eyes are dying to stay open. And they're like, oh yeah, we could take the baby to the nursery. You can get an hour or two of sleep. Every single night. It was like, take her. Right. They were nice. I was like, where's the nurse? Come take her so we can get some sleep.
Yeah. Right now, I'm in the hospital. No, unless I'm around, or like, when mother-in-law, my mom's around. But yeah, once we get home, that's cool. I'm cool. She can go to grandma's house. She can go to
no strangers.
House. Yeah, but strangers, I'm not really with that yet. That being said, too, like I guess I'm a little nervous about sleepovers in the future too, which is crazy because I slept over a lot. Like I was over at my friend's house, my boy's house, weekends at a time. But no, you just never know this day and age. People are crazy, man. People are just crazy, straight up.
For sure. Like you don't know. Like I've been thinking about this for the past few months as well, just like how we're gonna be raising my daughter. But you don't know what, like, it's not even that maybe they live in a bad neighborhood or exactly who they are. They could be the perfect people, but you don't know who their relationships with other people are who might have some ill will against them. They come through the house and do something crazy to everybody there. You know what I mean? My mind goes to the worst case scenarios. So I always think about that. I'm like, I don't know about sleepovers, and if there are sleepovers, I'm gonna try to make them majority at my house. And I know there might be people who are totally against sending their kids to my spot. I'm like, okay,
right.
Well, I'm not sending my daughter to your spot. So.
All right, we had an impasse.
And I know actually it was this old coworker of mine. She actually put up it was like an Instagram story, and she was like, she's Puerto Rican. She was like, it's like in their culture where the mother wouldn't let any of their daughters go sleep over any of their friends' house if there was any man present. Any man or boy present. So if there's a boy cousin that lives there, nope. If the dad is there, nope. If your friend has a brother, nope, you're not going to sleep over there. And I'm like, actually, I don't disagree with that. I don't mind.
I definitely understand that, and it's just all comes out of protection. And you just got to know. You just got to, or at least do your research. You know what I'm saying? Do your research.
Like you got to vet them like they're going into the FBI or something. And like you're background checking everybody. That's how I feel. So you got to make sure that they're 100% safe. And especially even having your kids go to like your siblings or your grandparents, you need to make sure and know who's coming over the house, who's going to be in that house. You know what I mean? Because sometimes they might not be thinking the same way you are. You know what I mean?
Straight
but
up.
Speaking of that, like boy or girl? I know you guys are actually keeping it a surprise until the end, right?
Yeah, yep. We're keeping it a surprise. I've always wanted to. I did flirt with the idea of a gender reveal because those videos all definitely, geek me out. I was my vision was me shooting a jump shot into a hoop or something, and then an explosion after I swish it.
Yeah.
I was like,
You
wow,
gotta make
that
sure
would
you
look.
make it. You
I
gotta
was
make
like,
sure you make it.
oh, this would look so good on video. But yeah, I just think I'm glad we're waiting, just because it'll just help us get there to that point. You know what I'm
For
saying? Like
sure.
I said, especially on those bad days, like it's just something fun to think about. And
Are you leaning towards like what do you think it is? Is there a certain one you think it is, or
man, it kind of wavers. It kind of wavers. I hear a lot of both. I kind of think it's a girl, but I don't know. It may be a boy. I'm really unsure.
so what do you prefer? And don't say, oh, I just wanted to be healthy, because that's usually actually no, I'm gonna let you say that because that's what I said the first time.
Yeah. No, I mean, a boy would be dope because, yeah, boy would be great. I was the first and I was a boy. I think a boy first would be nice. Just knock that out early.
For sure.
And then, yeah, I would be cool. But that said, a girl too would be great. Like, I think I would love to raise a girl. Like, I had two sisters. I loved living and like growing up with my sisters too. So I think that would be cool. But yeah, man, a boy would be great. A boy would be great. Either or, like I'm saying, I think my parenting plan is the same. You know what I'm saying? Sports, you know what I'm saying? Good education, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
All that stuff. So, but yeah, I'm excited we're waiting as well. Just get us there. It would be just to add to the craziness of that moment, we'll be like,
Exactly. Yeah.
this is what it is. So it'll be cool. I'm excited.
It'll be a nice final surprise. So I guess in regards to you guys waiting for the surprise, how was trying to figure out how you were going to do the nursery? Is it just mainly all gender neutral, or is it a mix of a boyish, girlish theme, or like, how are you
Yeah,
guys leaning?
so Asia basically has full creative control on the baby's room.
She's an interior
Uh,
designer.
yeah, she has a vision. Essentially, is what we've been saying. So, I've just been really following her vision. It's a great vision, But right now, we're yes, gender neutral. So, like, we got one big orange wall, which is really nice. They're going not going kind of going for like a Lion King type theme right now.
Oh, I like it.
Um, so yeah, and we don't have much yet. We just got, like I said, we just repainted the walls, refinished the floors, got a carpet in there. Her sister, shout out to Shayla, brought us a crib, so we got that in there. A couple pictures, but yeah, man, like getting the chest and all the changing tables and all that stuff. We still gotta fill that stuff in.
Yeah.
So that'll be coming in the next few months. But yeah, just kind of following Asia's lead on the baby room with decorations.
Of course. I mean, stay out the way, let her choose, and just, I guess, make sure things get done when they want it to get done. I think that's
Exactly.
part of their I forgot the name of it because I remember when Emily was doing this. Like
Oh, nesting.
nesting,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
nesting
yeah.
part.
Definitely,
Yeah, the
definitely.
nesting. I'm like, yo, we still got time. And she's like, no, I'm like, we need to do this now. She's like, oh, she's nesting. It's part of the nesting process. And then it was funny because there were times when like I wouldn't be in the mood to do it, but then all of a sudden I would be in the mood to do it. And she's like,
Mhm,
oh, look at you, you're nesting now.
mhm, mhm. And
And I was like, yeah, you start feeling it a little bit,
definitely, man,
which is
definitely.
hilarious. So also when we had our child, COVID was still going on, obviously. I mean, right now it's the highest it's been.
Mhm.
But there were like no visitors once the baby actually came. Do you, I don't know how it's going to be, obviously in April. So I don't know what their policy is going to be. But if they are actually allowing visitors, do you see you guys allowing people to come in or just wait until you get home?
That's a good question.
Yeah, because
Um,
I mean, for us, we liked that there was actually nobody able to come in, and we were like, we have some time to ourselves to hopefully get acclimated, and then once we get home, we can choose who comes in and who comes out. Um, and honestly, like after just seeing how everything works, I'm like, I couldn't imagine us just having like before COVID, you could just have anybody and everybody off the street
pull
come in
up.
and see your
Right.
baby. And
Yeah.
it'd be like 30 people in there with you. And I'm like, I could not imagine this if this was happening to us now. Like we just had a baby, we're exhausted, so tired, and we're just having
Yeah.
all these people. And you have to have the energy for that to greet them and welcome them. So
Yeah.
I'm interested to see if y'all are planning to have people in, if they're able to, or are you going to try and use like the COVID protocols and just have them come to your house later whenever you're ready?
Yeah, man. So I definitely think it's just gonna be family only, just like whoever's in our initial bubble, which is, like I can count on two hands,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, until we leave, and even when we come home, we'll just have to see. I may need to see your vaccination card and
Right.
make sure you're on the up and up. Just because,
Make sure
yeah,
you're
man, right. You,
boosted
you
and
need
ready.
to
You know
have
what I
that
mean?
booster. I'm getting my booster next week, but yeah, so yeah, in the hospital, definitely only family. And of course, we'll have some pictures, of course, for folks to
Sure.
see.
People will know that y'all are all right and everything.
Right, definitely. But yeah, man. And just to your point, I remember when my littlest sister was born, vividly, way back when. And yeah, everyone was in the hospital. Like I remember spending like 3 hours just kind of sitting so that we were waiting just for people to come through. Like that was the window for you to come visit if you were going to visit. And I was like,
Yeah,
really? Like, why am I here for this? All right, she's got home, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, yeah, it's just things are so different now. And yeah, we just above all, health and safety
for
is
sure.
what's gonna be most important.
So I know you, like majority of your family's down south in Virginia. Do you know if any of them are coming up for it? And I guess the whole family dynamic in general, have either of your families been bothering y'all like during this whole pregnancy, or do you foresee them like bothering you in a negative sense as you get closer to the baby?
Yeah, no, nope, not at all. And I just say, yeah, like I just expect probably just my mom and my sisters maybe to come up at max, and um everyone else, will just kind of not see you when you see you, but when it's safe, we will definitely
Sure.
make it a point to come pull up because yeah, and my family's been, pretty safe, and I would say on the higher end of the spectrum when it comes to just, being serious about the protocols, what I'm saying, making sure they're getting vaccinated, not going out places, wearing the mask all the time and stuff like that. So that being said, it's not like a big or a hard conversation just to be like, one or two folks come up and then, next time we come down, obviously we'll spend a day or two with you guys or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So,
For sure.
same thing with Asia's side of the family, which is great because they're local. So yeah, her mom, of course, little brother, those folks that we see, on the day to
All the
day,
time. Yeah.
right, over on weekends and stuff, we'll definitely be able to come through and pull up, which has been great. So,
Yeah. I feel like sometimes family, they can just make already stressful situations even more stressful just from being like entitled and thinking that uh like what they deserve versus actually making sure that you two or whoever the main people in the situation are good. I know when we actually had our baby, there were so many people trying to see him and or see her, and just making sure that the safety part of it was all set and making sure that, oh, are you vaccinated? If you're not vaccinated, make sure you wear a mask. But even if you were coming through, you still need to wear a mask.
mm-hmm,
So we actually sent out an email with like our clear instructions, clear boundaries. Like,
mm-hmm,
hey, if you're coming here, you're only going to be there for 30 minutes to an hour. Make sure if you're not vaccinated, make sure you wear a mask. Even if you are vaccinated, you're wearing a mask basically. Wash your hands before you hold her. No kissing her face, no kissing her, yada, yada, yada. Like
mm-hmm.
we sent out an email just to set those boundaries
Good
and make them
idea.
clear, because you obviously received that email and you obviously read it. So if you come through and still break any of those, we know that it's really just all about you, and we know where
Mm-hmm.
we need to separate and where our disconnect is.
Straight up.
Um, so I'm just curious on how other families members are going to help that or handle that, especially throughout COVID and just people getting sick and things like that. Because seeing babies sick is something that's not good and something that I don't want to see, especially any of mine or my people's. You know what I mean? So
Straight up, man.
wild. So you have anything really last to say about potential or your future parenthood or future fatherhood? Anything to leave the listeners with?
Yeah, man. I say one additional thing I've been trying to work on is just like, I need to get back in better shape. Like, I want to still be hooping, or at least like have the ability to go out and play football, soccer, or whatever with my kids when they're 10, 15, and still, relatively be able to get right on them. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
right. I
So,
mean, keep up with them a little bit, right?
right. So especially, I'm back off this Achilles, which is great. So I'm just been like, all right, this and it's perfect time, of course. January, beginning New Year resolutions are heavy right now. But yeah, I'm just like, all right, this next 5 to 10, I should just say 5 years. Like I really want to not, and it's not really a weight thing or a look thing. I don't
Yeah,
need six pack abs or
you could
nothing.
be skinny and still be out of shape. You know what I
I
mean?
just need to be able to run for a good hour and a half, be able to cook and then just
Yeah,
go and relax, rest,
exactly. Have
and
the
just
energy to do that.
exactly. So that's one thing I've definitely been I'm gonna try to key in on and and I think I want to look into like just like financial stuff like college savings and like just starting to do some stuff like that
Something where you could put money in
early.
now and it will just grow for you.
Right. Exactly.
Oh,
So
that should be a topic for one of our next episodes. Ooh, I like that. Gotta let
yeah,
Asia know about that.
definitely, man. Definitely. But yeah, other than those two things, just pure excitement, bro. Just excited for it to be here, excited for these new routines, excited to go through it with Asia. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man.
That's so dope. We're all excited for you. And to your point about staying in shape for the following years, I think we should come up with like a dad training camp just to get dads in shape for the future 10,
I'm with
15
that.
plus years. So they're able to run around and have energy with their kids. We could
Straight
use
up.
me, you, and Dwayne. We can come up with something. We could use
I'm,
maybe his facility or something.
I'm
Dad
down,
training camp.
man. I'm
That
down, man. Those
would be
old
funny,
heads, you need an old head to teach you the ropes, man.
right?
Those are the lessons that stick. So I want to be one of those old heads teaching out there. So yep.
I mean, especially like as we get older in life. I mean, I don't know if y'all plan on having more kids, but like you start having kids when you're 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. I mean, 15 years, it's going to be 55.
Right.
It's going to be a little tougher for you to run
It's
around
gonna
and
be
be
way
active with a
different.
15-year-old. You know what I mean? Even a
Definitely.
10-year-old, though. Like,
Right.
it's crazy. So I like that. I like that idea. Dad training camp, or we can come up with a better name, but we'll figure it out.
Yes, sir.
But no, we appreciate you coming on, sharing your story, just giving the future dad perspective, the male side of it. So I guess where can people find you on the socials? I want to check you out.
Yeah, man. If you want to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, it's at Big T Man, BIGTMAN 123. And yeah, man, get your DWA merch.
For sure. Oh, plug
Got
away,
my
plug away.
yeah, get your merch up real quick. And yeah, man, love y'all. Be safe out there. Shouts out to the family and all my friends.
Yeah, no doubt. We appreciate you all for listening, taking the time out. Um, leave us a review. You know where you listen at. Give us a thumbs up, thumbs down, however you're feeling. Also, follow us on Instagram, Done With Adulting Pod. On Twitter, Done WTH Adulting. We'll be back next week with another episode.
Yes,
We
sir.
appreciate you, my guy.
No doubt, no doubt. Thank you guys.
Definitely. Deuces.
Peace.